Thunder booms, lightning crashes, leaving boots filled with ashes. As we lay you down to rest, we read the pages of the Dead Man's Digest.
Hello everyone and welcome to this impromptu episode of the Dead Man's Digest. I am here with Tracy.
Hello!
But we are not talking Halloween Horror Nights like we were last time. That's why this is a bonus episode, not an actual official one. Darren and the gang, over the years we've covered other stuff other than Halloween Horror Nights.
We have.
We've done one of these from ScareCon.
Mm-hmm. That was good fun.
I think that's the only one we've done, isn't it? Other than, like Darren and Nina have covered Shallow Grave, and Howlow Scream at Busch Gardens, and I know they're doing a couple this year as well. But we are currently en route
in the car
to a red car, actually just across from where I work, to go and take part in the media preview for this year's Scream Factory. So as we went last year, what did you tell the people about Scream Factory?
Well, it was a lot of fun for a start. For a local haunt that I would say is not a huge budget, not big budget either really, it was just a really good event full of some really great mazes that took...
Well, it's one maze rather than being separate ones.
Yeah, but you do lead out into that open grassland area with the ghillie suits.
But unlike something like Horror Nights where the sort of 7 or 8 and 9
you don't get
separate mazes, you start at the beginning and you go through it.
Yeah, you work your way through, it's like a conga line. But
because you'd go through in groups. It's not a conga line.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is you don't then stop and decide, I'm going to just stop for a bit. You go through until you're at the end, is what I'm saying. Because of where they're situated, they take full advantage of the fact that they're in darkness. There's not a lot of street lights. So you are going through pitch black mazes. It's absolutely brilliant. Some really good scares and some well thought out scares as well.
Well, like one of the sections last year was like an abandoned mine, and you actually went down a tunnel.
Yes, you did.
Down a bank into a mine, and there was sections of that where it was, as you say, absolutely pitch black.
Yeah, and it's just literally you're going by touch. Something I liked, Lee probably didn't like as much as I did, was the exit of, was it 1 or 2 of them, where it was big air-filled cushions that you have to push your way through, and it was like being born.
I don't mind them actually. They don't, because they're only short, the claustrophobia doesn't kick in as much. But yeah, I think this is the 6th year of Scream Factory. I think we went through it 3 times last year, again because we went as guests, as we did a review for Scare Tour. Nice plug there for you, Michael.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm excited. I really enjoyed it last year. If you're in the area, definitely go and check it out.
Oh, without a doubt.
It's also...
But book tickets because they are selling out fast.
Yes. Also, definitely, if you're within a few hours' drive, I think it's worth the effort to drive up. Because Redcar, all right, it's
a bit of a dive.
It is, but you've got the seaside. You can go and have a lemon top, get some fish and chips, have a wander around, and then go to Scream Factory on the night. Actually, you could make a day of it, because where Scream Factory is at Kirkleatham Museum, and the museum awesome. Says it's free to get in. That's worth a wander around.
It is, and they've got a nice cafe there.
Yep, and the Birds of Prey Centre as well.
Yes.
So it's definitely worth a jaunt up. But I know one thing they're doing this year that's sold out now. I'm not going to get to do it. I'm gutted. They're actually doing the isolation tour this year, where you get to go through on your own, and I would have loved to have done that.
Not sure how I would have coped with that one.
Oh, that's my dream, is to go through a maze solo.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're about 25 minutes drive away now, so we'll check back in when we get there, I guess.
Yeah, I would imagine it'll be dark by the time we get there, because we're firmly into dusk time at the moment.
Yeah, so the winter's drawing close.
Yes. So exciting stuff, as long as it doesn't rain.
Cool.
Awesome.
So we're just in the sort of holding area before we get to go in. Tracy, what number are you?
I'm number 49.
I'm number 50. There's a lot of people here. I wasn't expecting the preview to be as big as it is.
I saw numbers going over 150.
Okay.
So
that's
We're just enjoying watching the clowns stalking people.
We've had monster cupcakes.
Delicious.
And some strange brew made of apple juice and coke and something else. It tasted better than it sounds.
Oh, it was good.
We're just watching a couple of the scare actors scare the crap out of people in here, but yeah.
Just waiting to go in. Posters through, groups of 10.
Which is, it's alright. That's about what we went through last time. I think they had them in groups of 8 last time, if I remember rightly. I'm interested to see it because I'm sure I read on the Facebook page that this year they've torn it down and redone it from scratch, whereas I think last year they just added a section on. Last year they had the cinema section.
Oh, yeah.
They just added on, whereas as far as I'm aware, this year's all completely new.
We shall see.
I guess we'll
shortly
find out. But the thing I liked about it last year, if we talk about it last year, is, we've been through so many scare attractions, and obviously a lot of our listeners' experience of haunts is going to be Halloween Horror Nights, and the scares are very generic.
What's he doing with that? Sorry, I've just watched the clowns.
Whereas I found some of the scares in here I'd genuinely not seen anywhere else.
Oh yeah.
The toy cupboard specifically comes to mind.
Oh, that was excellent. I'd forgotten about that.
But just the use of like ghillie suits and even the floor.
Yeah, they got me every time, the ghillie suits.
Certain sections there was like spongy floors and slanted floors and stuff, just stuff I'd genuinely never seen in a haunt before. So I'm hopefully going to record our walkthrough, and then I don't know whether we'll grab any of the creators tonight because obviously they're quite busy, but we know a few people who might grab on and get their opinions, so for now we'll see you I don't know, whenever we get to go through, I suppose.
Yeah. Let's just wet themselves.
You get to die, are we?
I don't know where we are.
Well, when you back to home, home free. I got every town has a gnome. I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to wake up. And if you're not gone, One.
2 Freddy's coming for you.
Here's Freddy! Ah!
Awesome. All right. I like the look of that gun.
Adopt me!
Thank you! You're taking the camera to my pants! Billy! No! Go out! Not you! No, get out!
No, you don't. I want your closet every night. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna wear your bag. Go get your skin for my sale. What's the matter? Don't you like to be just get
Oh, I hear a chainsaw.
Enjoy it.
Awesome.
Shame we got the bags and the heads back on. We will have that next week.
What was that? I don't remember that.
No, it's back on again. We've got another pack of dishes in there, but we couldn't get the marquees and stuff in time.
Oh, well, we're planning on coming back anyway because the youngest we brought her last year, she was only What was she?
She was 12 last year.
Really?
This kid rocks
she
stuff
loves
like
it.
this. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like we
It's a
took
bit
her
different
over.
to last year as well. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the additions.
We've put what we can into it, and the new house, that, and
The motel was cool at the beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's nice,
brilliant.
isn't
Yeah.
straight down there.
Brilliant.
Oh, they stink. So, I was going to say, we've just got out of it, but we haven't. We've just stuffed our faces with pulled pork sandwiches. We are joined by Lee. Hello, Lee.
Hello, how are you two
You're not
guys?
supposed to say it like that. You're supposed to say, hello, buddy.
Hey up then, buddy! Long time no see.
It has been a while. Lee, you've been coming actually as long as we have to this.
Right.
You came last year the first time, didn't you?
Yes.
Because of us, really.
Yeah,
we raved
I
about.
didn't really know about it till I'd heard off you guys.
So what did you think of it last year?
We loved it. It's the natural feel of the whole attraction. That the technology's it's not the best technology, but the scares inside it are just the natural scares. And I don't know anywhere in the country really that uses what stuff they've got in such spaces and produce so like unique scares. There's like scares and jump scares here that, you know, we did 100 attractions last year and we never saw some of these in any of the other places.
Yeah. I mean, that's high praise coming from you, bearing in mind that you do your own scare attractions.
Yes, yeah, it's amazing. I remember going away last year and we sort of talked on the way down with Sarah and sort of saying like, we'd love to put this little bit in an attraction or try to do something similar to this, and it is, and I think that's just the biggest compliment anybody can give another scare attraction owner, really, that if you like to emulate it.
What did you think of it this year, Trace, compared
year?
to last year? Obviously, bearing in mind we've been told it's only at
80%. Yeah. I would say at the moment it's on a par with last year, and that's not a bad thing because I absolutely loved it anyway last year. I'm interested to come back and see how they fill that other 20% and see how much better it is. I mean, we were discussing earlier, and I agree that the first half of it was definitely the stronger half. But there were some nice new additions.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see you get an actual scare.
It did. For me, they definitely front-loaded it. It felt like it got to the halfway point and then you were kind of done. Which, you know, it could be the fact, like you said, that the 20% that's not done could have been that last sort of 10 minutes. But the first half was full-on from that first... Tate's Motel, I love that, by the way.
It's just such a great start to it. As soon as you walk through the gates and the biggest sign in the world's flashing there is just... So whoever thought of that was just fantastic. They must have had that one like hid in the back pocket for years until they could actually do it.
Yeah.
For those listening who don't know, Jay and Katie Tate are friends of ours who helped run it, so that there was the Tate's Motel, which was awesome.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, like you said, the scares that I've never seen anywhere before.
We got a fantastic group with us where there was a couple of girls that just absolutely squealed all the way around. So it was quite nice for, like, me and Sarah just took a step back and actually watched the scare happen this time.
Yes.
Which were fantastic. One thing we were really disappointed about, and I'm sure that'll be one of the things that's going to get corrected, is obviously the swamp scene wasn't working. Was it working for you guys?
Yeah.
No, it was just
the...
Yeah, I remember last year they had actors in,
Yeah, which is, they won an award at ScareCon for that room. So a little bit disappointed that wasn't working today, but obviously that'll be back in production when itinerary comes.
But yeah, like we've said, I don't get scares in these things. I did tonight. Genuinely, and it's funny actually. One of the lasses in front of me got, I think it was one like bunk beds at the side with a guy underneath it that jumped out at her, and it wasn't him that made me jump. It was her jumping because of him that made me jump.
I did like the addition of the lift this time.
Yeah, that was cool.
Just really cram everybody in. It was the lady in front of us who kept grabbing hold of me throughout, and she was stood there, and all of a sudden she just looked up at the guy that was next to her, and he was an actor, and he's all painted up well. She wet herself when she saw his face. That was brilliant.
But it was again just a dead simple effect with the button to make it feel like you were actually going down. It was cool. Just obviously they've built it custom, and you can see it's just plywood and stuff like that, but it does the job it needs to do without costing a fortune. I mean, you've got to imagine as a scare attraction owner that the profit margin on this place has got to be fairly high.
I mean, one of the things is that you walk around and it's all natural materials they use. But they just use it well, and it's in long and short it is you could have £1 million, but if you don't use that £1 million well, you're still not going to have a good attraction. These, the budget must be tight. You can tell on year by year it's probably getting bigger, but because they use it well, they use inventive scares, and they've got a great cast with them. That there's some great actors in there that sort of, they were full on all night. They were really, really sort of going for it. And you don't need money to do them things. That's just natural.
No.
Yeah.
When you look at what's the thing really, obviously a lot of what people will be listening to the Dead Man's Digest for is Halloween Horror Nights, and most people will agree that, obviously Lee, you haven't been, so from the outside, but you go for the production value and the scares are secondary. But something like this, you're largely relying on your actors.
Yeah.
And they've got some good ones.
I mean, we always sort of say is that for like your American listeners, is we've always said before, and we've said when you were doing Frequent Fear, that's the big difference between UK and US haunts. Yeah. Is the UK will rely more on its actor base than the Americans will. It's more physical stuff.
Yeah.
This one just sort of just epitomises like a UK haunts, really.
Yeah.
Because it's just natural, pure talent from the actors that find the scares. You don't need 20, 30, 40,000 pound big sort of physical animatronics when you've got a really strong actor that can do that for you for nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think the problem is that most American listeners, their knowledge of haunts is something like a Halloween Horror Nights or a Howlow get confused with York, it's Howlow Scream, isn't it? And that as an attraction is way different from your average, like a Scream Factory or a EVAC or Shallow Grave. Because you think for those that anyone's watched the house that October built, that's more what we're talking about with something like here rather than a Halloween Horror Nights where, let's be honest, you're going to spend more time waiting in lines than you are actually going through it. Whereas the beauty of this, because you book your time slot coming in, you're only going to wait 10 to 20 minutes and then you're in. And the thing itself, I mean, it must have took us, I didn't actually time it, but it must have been a good half an hour to get through.
Yeah, maybe more. I mean, the other thing is that we were really impressed last year, and I know we talked about it when we come out tonight, is the way that they pulse the groups as well. Is you never seem to get, you're not getting tied up with other groups. Yeah. We went through in an 8. At one point we could hear the other 8 behind us, but then within one sort of, one scare area, they were stopped and held back a second, and so we got to do the natural scares on our own for the 8, which is so perfect because there's a lot of attractions that we go to that we start in it, and because we like scare attractions, we like to take us time and go through it and sort of soak up all the atmosphere, experience the actors, see the scenes and everything. But the unfortunate thing is that normal people that go through these scare attractions will generally try to run because they're scared.
Yeah.
So you end up a lot of times you get backlogged up. This doesn't happen here. It didn't happen last year. It definitely didn't happen tonight. And I just think it's just really well how they do that so discreetly that you're not sort of stood waiting at any time, but you're not being caught up by big groups.
We did a little bit tonight, but I think you were quite. What numbers were you to?
We were 8. We were at an 8.
Number?
Well, we went in. We went in about 2 after you.
All right.
She managed to sneak.
I was going to say maybe they'd sort of learned a little bit after because we did catch up a little bit in front. But I know
held back, but we held the whole group back.
Yeah, I know from last year that they've got certain, because there's like bits that are inside, then the outside bits, then they can hold you before you go into the next bit.
Yeah.
Whereas
like before, like the mortuary, got held back there.
Whereas like a Halloween Horror Nights, like you said, because you just literally pushed through, they've even got people telling you move. You see a lot of them. If it's not designed well, you see that scare before you get it, and if you mistime it, I mean, we went through American Werewolf in London 2 years ago. Yeah. And I missed every single one of those wolf scares.
Same here.
On 3 runs through, I never got one.
Well, I think there's certain sets here that it would spoil it if you had that problem, because I know the cemetery scene, that if you've got another group in front of you, it would just totally spoil the whole scene.
Yeah.
Because when you come out of the mine before that, and then you're just set with the sort of big cemetery gates, and then looking out towards the church, it is one of the most beautifulest sets that you will ever see in a scare attraction. It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah. And that's the thing as well, they haven't had to build that, that's just there.
No, in fact last year we were really lucky, and I know that you did, we actually sort of managed to be able to go behind the snes.
Yeah.
And that was the first thing I said to him, is like, you were so lucky to have a church there, and they were like, what do you mean, we built it? And he was like, literally took us, and he was like, well, I can't believe that this is not a natural church. It looked perfect.
Right. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we were looking at it. He says, when you walk down and have a look, just go and have a look behind, and it's just like it's just a facade.
I didn't know that, because it looks like it's always been there.
Exactly, I thought that it was just that was a part of probably the grounds, and they had a church there, and that they just worked everything round it.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Not that it were built. So the mortuary scene's really good.
Yeah, I like that one last year as well.
Yeah.
You missed a ghillie suit. They didn't have it last year of the ghillie.
Hang on 1 second. I think we need a quote from the clown.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
I agree with everything he said.
Yes, me too.
But yeah, I mean, definitely if you're in the area, definitely get down to Scream Factory. It's well worth it. Tickets are selling fast.
Yes.
We need to get ours booked if we want. We need to find out when Raymond's coming home. But before we get out, Lee, favourite bit?
I think I love the first scare. I'm not going to say it just to no one spoilers, but I love the first scare, the very first scare that you had when you walked into the Tate's Motel.
Room, yeah.
I love that one, and I think I love the cemetery scene. That is my favourites.
Trace?
Yeah, I'm going to say I like the cemetery scene, not skiing. Although I'm looking forward to coming back and the ghillie suits being in, because they got me every time last year. Even, 3 times we came?
Yeah.
And every single time, even though I knew where they were.
We went through it 3 times.
Yeah, every time they got me. I love the new motel, but the mortuary, the funeral home, the mortuary is my favourite. I love it in there.
See, for me this year, coming last year worked against me, because the meat grinder, that was there last year, but it didn't have a person in it. So when we walked past it tonight, I was like, oh, I remember that from last year. And then got I was like, that's probably my favourite bit, but I love...
You wet yourself that now, wet myself laughing.
Yeah.
And Sarah, what about yours?
The clowns. The clown scene when you walk down, and they're spraying water. I love that.
Yeah.
I like the clowns, though. I think the clowns are really scary in this one.
And it's
quite sinister.
Interactive as I love.
I like the water guns. I'm covered in it.
Anything interactive for me, I love that.
Yeah. The new scene with the car at the end of it is absolutely fantastic as well. Where you walk down, there's the fencing and there's the zombies and some of it, and there's a car at the bottom with the lights.
Oh, is that what the green lights were?
Is that what it was? I never noticed it was a car. Right.
Love
that. Over my head.
Love that, because I was sure there was a car at the end of there until I went to try and get out at the side of it and bumped my head against it, because I realised it was a wall and it was actually just 2 lights. But yeah, some great new stuff this year, just to complement the stuff from last year. Which
Absolutely.
And then this is a problem though, like you'll know, being from further down.
Yeah, we're saying it's usually north, isn't it, for me?
There's nothing round here but this, and it's such a shame. I hope that them doing this and it becoming as big as it is, that will make other people think, do you know, we can do that.
Yeah. I think we always say, and we did say it last year, and we said it exactly the same when we got in the car today, is that seems so strange us actually driving north to an attraction, because everything we do is drive south to attractions, and it's just a refreshing change to drive to more friendly people up north.
Absolutely. and just to add, we do only have one scare attraction really in the area, but what an attraction it is. It's not like it's a poor show. It's bloody marvellous.
It's fantastic. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, the weirdest thing is this is the 6th year of it. I literally work across the road, yet we've only been twice. I don't understand it. But anyway, right. So there you go. Definitely come and check Scream Factory out. Tickets are available at screamfactory.co.uk. So for Lee and Sarah, who had a little bit in the background, and Tracy, this has been the Dead Man's Digest.